Rising up. That's what you were
Back
singing,
on,
right?
rising up, back on Nightscream.
Did my time, fought the beast wars
Went the distance, now I'm back.
on Cybertron.
Just
Just
a
a
bot,
bot.
and his will to maximize. It's
It's
the
the
eye
eye
of the
of the
Oracle.
Matrix. Oh,
Eye of the Matrix flows better.
Too much Energon.
is one of them a squid?
Cheetor, what have you done?
Blah 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 blah, Beast Wars once and for all.
It's like throw her into the compactor. Well, you don't need this anymore.
Why do you always talk to yourself?
I simply have a penchant for intelligent conversation.
Yeah,
Say
that,
Galavar! No! Say Galavar! No!
No, not that.
What's up, Maximals and Predacons and Vehicons? Welcome to another episode of Too Much blah 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 blah. Too much Ager J. Okay.
you can leave that in if you want.
Yeah. Oh, should I just keep going?
Yeah, why not?
Welcome to another episode of Too Much Energy.
Too much energy today.
Okay,
The
this is
podcast
episode...
where we talk about Beast Wars.
This is it, folks. This is episode 60 of Too Much Energon. This is what we have devolved into.
60 episodes, 62 plus hour episodes of just doing this, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, this is where we're at.
If you're listening to the audio version, I'm literally wearing 3D glasses right now.
Christopher Siege is joining us in the third dimension, folks. So if you want to see that in living color, come check us out on YouTube.
Or in red and blue, as the case may be.
Yeah, just in red and blue. That's enough. It tricks
from the
my eyes into...
Coming from the third dimension, where things are polygonal and monochromatic.
And everything looks red and blue, but never purple. That's just crazy. What are we? Yeah, I'm one of your hosts, NeoCal. 4 minutes into the intro. Hey.
And I am your other host, Christopher Siege. Howdy, folks.
Howdy, y'all. And
what are we
doing? We're watching Beast Machines. Specifically, season 1, episode 9, which is Revelations Part 3, Apocalypse. I was expecting scarier things.
Like the end of Planet Megatron, perhaps. Not the end of Planet Megatron, but we do actually get like a nice little flashback, spiritual vision quest flashback to Planet Energon, even though it looks nothing like Planet Energon.
It's a little... Was it supposed to be Planet Energon?
I think it was, yeah.
But, it was trippy. It scared me. There's scary shit in this episode. I'm just gonna say it.
But yeah, before we jump into Planet Megatron, what's going on, Cal? How we doing?
What's going on? Well, maybe it's the same in other countries, but in order to see a doctor in Western Canada, one has to download something like Cloud MD or telemedicine and wait in a queue. Oh.
Not to be confused with WebMD, which is a website that will basically tell you no matter what is wrong with you, you have cancer.
And it's only right partially.
I mean, through processes of elimination, it's got to be right at least some of the time, right?
I mean, that's true. Think of how many lives it's saved by people being worried that they have cancer, and then they do.
Doing God's work, that WebMD. Anyway,
Somebody has to.
someone has to. God's certainly not going to do it.
I guess in BC and Ontario, those are provinces up here in Canada.
Yeah. For the American listeners, which I see the data, it's most of you.
Yeah. Telemedicine and Cloud MD are only available in BC and Ontario.
That's weird.
So if you're in any of the other provinces or territories, get fucked. I go wait in the line, which they don't do anymore. You have to book. It's so hard to talk to a professional nowadays.
For the American listeners, BC and Ontario are quite geographically far from one another. So there's a bit of geographic discrepancy.
BC is above Washington State.
BC is above Washington State. Ontario is above, well, a lot of states.
The lakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Michigan, New York, et cetera, et cetera.
It's up there. It's a big old chunk of Canada.
I don't know any of the other states that it borders off the top of my head.
I can't think of anything. Illinois?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that. Sure. It's around there.
It's around there.
Shout out to friend of the show and co-host on another one of our podcasts, Alphanumeric, Lady Glitch. She is in Chicago right now.
Oh, that's right. So
yeah,
some people
she I messaged me some photos earlier.
Some people fly across the country or drive.
Or perhaps
across
she's
the country.
flying over Chicago. Regardless,
something like that.
Like that.
Some people go across the country and pay a lot of money so that they can run.
Yep. That I don't understand it, but
but God damn it, I respect it.
But God damn it, if it's fulfilling to you, then then dare to dream.
Yeah, exactly. It always perplexed me. Like I mentioned mentioned to a broader group of friends, oh hey, I've got this like Cheetor and I've got this like Scorponok or whatever, and they're like, oh, I buy like higher quality, like, you know, like posable like figurines. And I'm like, ooh. Being and you know the ones like the 400, like the unmovable kind of like statue-esque like little thingies, right?
Yeah, or like Hot Toys type deal where the figures are like $300 and
they're $300. They have interchangeable heads and different hands, and you pose them.
Yeah, they're like a foot tall. They're wearing
that's
like
what they were talking about,
clothing,
real fabric and yeah.
And
it's just like
that shit's cool and all, but like
I don't make fun of you for owning those, so don't make fun of me for having Transformers.
God, they should see my spread on my desk right here. Holy shit.
And also,
I'm running out of room.
There's a quantity quality thing.
So in the video frame here, you can see my Tankor, my Thrilling Generations Thrilling 30 Tankor, mint in box, and my War for Cybertron Kingdom Rhinox figure that I just got recently. You can see them in the frame. I actually had to move so much shit, so many Transformers around, just so like they would be the only figures in frame.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
They're by his feet.
Got a lot going on
to the wall.
Got some of them under my shirt, you know.
Yeah. Is that a gorilla in your pants, or are you just happy to banana me? I don't know. There was a joke in there somewhere. It fell apart.
Is that a Rhinox in your pants, or are you just horny?
Or are you just horny? Is that garbage in your pants, or do I just see myself? I don't. I get like 80% of the way there.
Because Rhinox has a horn.
It's true. He does.
Anyway, so your friends were being smug sons of bitches.
It was just like, oh, well, I prefer not to have like a lot of cheap things. I prefer to just have a few like higher quality, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like,
these aren't exactly like dollar store figures here. Like Transformers aren't exactly cheap nowadays.
No,
Like my Kingdom Megatron was $70.
that's right. And he
Like
looks phenomenal.
yeah, he looks great. Hell, the reissue of the OG Beast Wars Megatron was also $70, which that's wild.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that shit was $30 Canadian back in 1996. But
whoops, I accidentally shrunk myself. There we go, folks.
why would you do that?
I can't believe I've done that. Why would anyone do that? Why
How
would
dare
Rhinox do that?
Why would Rhinox do that?
Well, I guess he doesn't.
No, what does he do? He breaks bad. That's what he does.
This one like fucked my head up a bit. Not in a bad way, in like watching and trying to understand like the third Matrix movie. Way. And not in a I'm just watching it to like make fun of it way, in a serious like, okay, let's figure this out.
Well, listeners, if you want to hear us talk about the Matrix, subscribe to the Lasercomb Patreon, patreon.com/lasercomb. At the $25 tier, you get a whole bunch of cool stuff, but you also get a monthly commentary track. The latest one was about the first Matrix film. We're going to be recording another one about the Matrix Reloaded pretty soon. And then one about the Matrix Revolutions in the month of November.
I'm so fucking stoked.
Leading into December, the release of The Matrix Resurrections.
So anyone familiar with me at all knows I'm a big fan of The Matrix, thus my handle.
We talked about it quite a bit a few episodes
all the time
back. Well, a few episodes back specifically, when the trailer for the Matrix Resurrections got released. We talked about it on this show.
And somehow I convinced Christopher to do more than just the first Matrix movie. So no, Christopher Siege likes the Matrix too, and he's stoked for it.
I do. It was my idea. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. Let's just do all three. I'm like, let's do the Animatrix too. Why not?
I love all the. You know what's great? Everything in the Matrix is canon. The comics are canon. The Animatrix is canon. The fucking Matrix Online is canon. I love it. We've already
the Matrix Online, a game you can't even play anymore in 2021.
Many of you probably didn't know existed.
You haven't been able to play that shit since 2009, when the servers got taken offline, and yet that shit is canon.
You know, I didn't pre-order it, and I didn't get Morpheus's glasses. It was always a little bit salty about that.
I recently acquired a couple of pairs of Morpheus-style glasses.
You sure did.
So keep an eye out for that. Do we want to jump into it? This is episode 60 of Too Much Energon, where we are talking about the 9th episode, as Cal mentioned, of Beast Machines. Revelations Part 3, Apocalypse, with an exclamation mark, according to Wikipedia.
It has an exclamation mark?
Apparently it has an exclamation mark, according to Wikipedia, which feels wholly unnecessary given the episode, but it originally aired on November 13th, 1999. This episode picks up immediately after where Part 2 left off, which is Jetstorm
ripping the soul out of Blackarachnia.
Yeah, Jetstorm has ripped the spark out of Blackarachnia, and like her lifeless body just lay limp, and Nightscream is still there screaming, "No!" Yeah. And Jetstorm fucks off with Blackarachnia's spark and the spark canister, and Nightscream like gives chase, flies after him.
Yeah.
And Thrust is kind of looking on at Blackarachnia's lifeless body, being like, And I'm like, what are you up to there, bud?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because she's dead, right?
And I mean, she's a machine, so it's not like she's going to decompose or anything. She's not going to start to rot.
No, still warm.
But let's move on from this topic.
Oh, the big reveal at the end of the last one was that Tankor is Rhinox.
Tankor is Rhinox.
Rhinox is Tankor.
I was gonna try and string that into something else, but I couldn't think of anything.
Well,
anyway,
we're joining Primal in front of the Stargate again.
Yeah, the Oracle of the Matrix, and he's in his like lotus pose, telling the Oracle that I don't listen, lady, I don't doubt the wisdom you're spouting at me, but I don't really understand it. So
yeah, he's like, so help a monkey out.
Yeah, help a gorilla man out over here. And
she does it. They do. Yeah,
sort of. Yeah, he goes on a vision quest that, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I think it's supposed to be Planet Energon. It's an organic-looking planet. It looks nothing like Planet Energon from Beast Wars, but I'm guessing that's supposed to be what
Cybertron. What if this was Cybertron? Because in the because in the vision quest, man, this is where it starts fucking with my head. He sees plants grow out of the ground as he's walking on like verdant green hills.
Right.
And they're the heads of the other Maximals that grow out of the plants.
Right.
Like sunflowers opening up. And he hears Cheetor's voice say, "Oh, Maximus." Sorry, Maximus.
Russell Crowe.
Father of a murdered son. Husband of a murdered wife. And I will have my revenge. No, my vengeance. Sorry. Anyways, welcome to our gladiator.
In this fabulous jockstrap and cape.
It's
that jockstrap that John Oliver on Last Week Tonight actually purchased and sent to one of the last Blockbuster stores in I think it was Anchorage, Alaska.
I love that. Yeah.
In an effort to keep the store open, which failed.
But, yeah, what you gonna do?
But the owner kept that jockstrap, damn it.
You're goddamn right. And what's happening here in the vision quest? Mechanical, like technological vines rip out of the ground and
technorganic even.
Yeah, and hold Primal down. They wrap around his arms and legs, and they also wrap around the plant stalks where the sunflower Maximals are, and like choke them and change them from organic to mechanical.
Right.
And it seems they cry out in pain as they kind of like collapse as if they're dying.
Yeah, and like the faces of the Maximals like all melt away. And
yeah, look, this is your fault, or what they're saying things, demoralizing things as they're wilting.
Yeah.
You failed us, Optimus, just like you failed Cybertron.
Yeah, just shit talking Optimus, you know.
Yeah, and he screams into the void, "How can I stop this? Tell me." So
we cut back to Cheetor and Rat Trap and Tankor / Rhinox. And the Maximals are trying to reach Tankor, or trying to reach Rhinox through Tankor, and Tankor is kind of just being silent, but they're like, "Rhinox, is that you?" And he's like,
"It's your old buddy Rat Trap."
Yeah. Rhinox, Cheetor, Rat Trap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so dumb.
It's corny and expected.
Yeah.
And he ends up yelling because his mind is like a little bit confused, and he ends up just going, "Tankor, destroy!" And so presumably Tankor wins the battle of the minds that's going on there and just attacks them.
Tankor, destroy! Catbot! Pulverize! Mousebot!
And then, he attacks them. It's kind of,
and some tank drones show up and to offer backup.
yeah. Tank drones show up, and then there's throughout the whole episode, they're hiding on this like bridge arch, I guess. It's weird.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but they end up hiding on top of this arch, and Cheetor makes. I thought it was funny. Cheetor actually makes the line. He's like, "Man, I really miss my thruster jets."
Oh yeah, I like that.
I was like, huh, fun callback to Transmetal 1 Cheetor. His first.
I mean, I'd miss them too.
I know, and I was thinking about that. Like, can you imagine on a conscious level, like, can you imagine being a like completely purely like land-based creature and then actually having the ability to fly and then just having that taken away? That would be so strange. I'm not trying to go all like stoner philosophical here, 420 philosophy here, but that was just
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor, yeah, that's an ancient meme right there,
right?
It's an old.
That's how old we were. We remember when Velociraptor was hip and cool.
It's an older meme, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah. Which is funny because that's an older meme too, but it persists.
That is. Yeah, that is. I like that meme. the meme of the dude from Star Wars from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's an older meme, sir, but it checks out.
I love it. So yeah, there's a lot of hiding on these archways as they're being shot at. Nothing really else to say there, is there?
No,
Rat Traps is the one cool thing. He's like, oh, how nice that Tankor ended up being one of our friends. Can you imagine if he had been recycled from a Predacon? And I'm like, oh, hey.
I know, the way he yells that was almost like Dinobot-esque. It was almost like Scott McNeil was like channeling some of his Dinobot voice there when he said that.
I was like,
Predacon.
From a Predacon. And I was like, oh, Rat Trap, you could be scary.
Calm down, Rat Trap.
Calm down. It's your buddy Cheetor.
Yeah.
What's happening here? Is this the joust between Jetstar?
Tankor. So they're discussing about how they need to figure out a way to like to bring Rhinox, to bring out Tankor's inner Rhinox. And Tankor is like he's at the base of this like golden arch.
A bunch of arches.
It's not golden, but like the golden arches, you know? So like he's at the base of one of these arches and it's like trying to he like has like a saw attachment to one of his arms, which
yeah, and
he's like trying to saw his way through it, which I'm like, dude, you have control over like an army of tank drones. Just like one, why are you even fucking around with this? Just shoot. Like, just order them to start shooting at Cheetor and Rat Trap on the top of this thing, or shoot the base. The base.
Don't they do that later in the episode? I don't know. It's weird. He's got a saw, and damn it, you know when you have something and you look for an excuse to use it. That's what's happening there with Tankor.
I mean, that's why I podcast, because I have this mic and webcam. So I'm like,
yes, that's
I might
the
as well
order
do something.
That's the order of operations. It's just like, man, I have this podcasting mic and this webcam. Fuck it, I might as well use it.
I might as well do something with it. Anyone who ever heard the original first episode of Too Much Energon will know that is very much not the case. And if you didn't, well, it no longer exists. So
goodbye.
We re-recorded that, and I replaced the original recording with that re-recorded version that we did almost a fucking year ago at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, I replaced the original with the re-recorded version, and I don't even think I have a backup of that original
gone forever
first episode of Too Much Energon. So rip in peace.
Rip in peace. I think the one we did over that is more humorous.
Well, we
had fun with it.
We kind of knew what we were doing by that point. But anyway, point is the original first episode of Too Much Energon. I was using not a great mic, and yeah, didn't
I
sound
was
great.
using the headset of this, and it was a thing. We've moved on. we have
grown.
upgraded.
We've grown as podcasters and as men.
let's not get too crazy here.
We've grown as Maximals, damn it.
I think so.
We now see Megatron's vision of technological perfection.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. This chaos in having your own free thoughts. Wouldn't everything just be so much smoother and more peaceful if free will didn't exist and we were all just as one?
We were all the Borg. I mean, yes.
The Borg don't fight each other.
They don't.
The Borg don't get divorced.
They oof, ooh. Ooh.
Oh jeez. The Borg don't murder. There's no Borgicide in Borg society. There's no envy. There's no jealousy.
They just work together as one.
They just work together.
So you know what? Megatron might be onto something here.
Yeah. Maybe in the Transformers Star Trek crossover movie, those two can get together and come up with a plan.
Oh man, could you imagine, like, what would happen if the Borg tried to assimilate Megatron? Like, which way do you think it would go? Like, would they assimilate him? Or like, would he become part of the collective, or would they assimilate him and like something would... He'd send something out.
Oh,
and
shit.
like
He'd
would
infect
like
them.
He would infect them. Like Borg nanoprobes would enter his body, but then like he would use that as a way to like infect the Borg collective and take them over.
Which is, he's technically done something very similar.
Kinda, yeah. Shit, I want to see this now.
It's fan fiction time. And then the Borg would have to go to the Maximals and the Federation and team up with them, because they do that rarely, right? As long as it serves their best interest.
Yeah.
And they go to the Federation
Voyager,
and the Maximals to beat this, because Megatron has taken over a number of like Borg cubes and spheres and stuff. And they severed the link between the ones that are taken over, but now they need help stopping him.
We are Borgatron. Yes.
We are Borgatron. We are one. I've set my sights higher on simple planets like Cybertron. Yes.
Now I wish to rule the entire Delta Quadrant. Yes. And add its technological and organic or biological distinctiveness to my own.
This is it writes itself, basically.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see this.
Damn, what have I done? What have we done? Well, back to reality.
that fanfic coming soon from Lasercomb Productions. Except probably not.
Probably not.
It'll be like one of the many things on this or any of the other shows that we do where we're like, okay, we're doing this, and then we just don't.
I think it's been obvious when we say we're going to do something when we don't, which is basically everything.
Man,
no, that's not true.
Listeners, we do many of these shows. So much so that I don't have time to do much else.
No.
No.
But that's how we like it.
That is how we like it. Point is, when am I going to have time to write fanfic?
But I might have some time.
Oh shit.
I'm kind of super interested in this now.
You know, we could release that as a podcast, as like an audio drama. You're like, has this been done? Googling it.
I'm actually writing.
Googletron. Terrorize.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
You
some
got it?
footnotes.
All right.
So yeah, if audio listeners just heard me frantically tapping, I wrote a quick couple sentences on a premise of what we were just talking about.
You know, I actually I studied creative writing in university. I'm sure I mentioned this at some point on the show, but one of the fourth year classes that I took was actually writing audio drama.
Oh, really? I've done some radio play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually there was a script. This was a funny sequence of events, but I wrote a script originally in that class as a audio drama, and then I ended up repurposing it as a screenplay in another class. And the screenplay I ended up getting an A- on, and it's one of the it's one of the pieces of writing I'm most proud of. Although going back to it, some of the humor is kind of dated and cringy because I wrote it like 15 years ago, and it was very much.
You keep it.
It was very much like the sense of humor in it was very much like crass comedy of like the mid 2000s. But I've been toying with the idea for the past like 10 years or so of going back and turning it back into an audio drama. And now I feel like with all the recording we've been doing for the past like year plus now, I feel like now I'm actually in a position where I could do something like that.
Yeah. I love doing voices and getting into character and playing shit out like that.
Well, I don't think anyone who is listening to this show right now will doubt that, given all of the ridiculous impressions that we've been doing on this show for the past 60 episodes.
Yeah, it's like, wait a second, who am I trying to convince here? Anybody that's listened to us or Christopher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, that would be rad. I need to start uploading to YouTube, and my partner and I we'll play a story game together, and we will do the voices of all the characters. And I'm like, why? Even if it's just for us, not actually to monetize anything or whatever, it's like, why aren't I recording that and uploading it?
Yeah.
Anyways, I am actually excited about I have not done script or radio play, some radio play writing, but I want to do a little scenario of a little radio play of the scenario that we just painted. I mean, we kind of just did.
All right. I'm excited.
All right.
You know another thing we should do is we should go and re-record the voices of the Maximals and Predacons in War for Cybertron Kingdom.
Just like a little like scene where they're all talking back and forth, like when they're on the Ark.
Yeah.
Oops. Spoilers? No, not really.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo, the fucking Ark is in. Of course it is.
If anyone has seen Earthrise and they haven't seen Kingdom yet, like, first off, why haven't you watched Kingdom yet? That shit's been out for a couple months now. And two, like, you know that the Ark crash landed on planet Energon at the end of Earthrise.
And if you don't know, then it's not ruining anything for you, because then you don't know what the Ark is. And that also means that you're probably not listening to us talk about this anyway.
Exactly.
You're not tuning in because you watched Beast Machines and missed Beast Wars. We know that.
Yeah.
We're having fun here.
But yes, I We could do something like that. I would definitely be Megatron
Yes.
in that show. We could
I-
we could enlist the aid of some people that we know.
We could, yeah. Yeah. We both do Rat Trap to varying degrees.
I'd say you do Rat Trap better than I do.
Could do okay, so I'll do Rat Trap.
I could do Rhinox in I could do Trucker Rhinox.
Yes, yes. I could mess around and come up with a primal voice.
I think
Do we
I
have
could
any youthful vigor? I can do Tigatron.
I think I could do Primal pretty well.
Yeah.
I think I think my voice has the I think I could bring out the gravitas needed.
We definitely need a Cheetor like because our voices are a little too deep.
What about Duncan? I don't know if he'd be down, but
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Duncan can be Cheetor.
yeah, Duncan can be Cheetor.
There's so many characters that interact with that. It's just fun when they're all on the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
See, plans coming together.
Yeah, we could probably do a better job than the people in that show.
Oh, definitely. Without question.
And I say that being someone who, like, if anyone listening to this has listened to episode 50 of Too Much Energon, you would have heard that we were actually a lot kinder on the voice acting than a lot of Transformers fandom out in the wild. Like, for the most part, it's not. For the most part, it's not too bad. It's varying degrees.
It's varying degrees, but they grow on you.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, Dinobot. And then after like 15 seconds of listening to him talk, I'm like, yeah, I like this Dinobot.
Yeah, that rapper, Chris Kalika, I think his name is, or something like that. He did a good job. I like.
He doesn't sound like a lot of them don't sound like the original voice actors of Beast Wars and Beast Machines, but they still sell the character. And I think that's important when you're doing voice acting of an established character and you're a new voice actor.
Yeah.
You have to know the character, and Dinobot's voice actor, I feel like that guy grew up watching Beast Wars, just saying.
Probably.
Can you imagine how stoked, if he was like a fan, how stoked he would have been?
Well, we talked about this on
we did, yeah,
on episode 50 of Too Much Energon. I was like, that guy's a rapper who he's been in the biz for like something like 20 years. Like, I feel like, and he's kind of a get for that show because the rest of the actors are like kind of nobodies for the most part.
Amateur up and comers, yeah.
Yeah, or just like non-union voice actors who like they do a lot, but it's like minor roles in animes and whatnot. But like, he was kind of a get for that show, so I feel like he was in it. He must have had his agent call someone up and be like, "Hey, you're gonna have Dinobot in this new Transformers cartoon. I want to be motherfucking Dinobot. Hell, I'll do that shit for free."
Yeah.
And they're just like, "What? Oh, okay."
I've been waiting for this for over 20 years. Damn it.
Yeah. Anyway.
So who's gonna voice Nightscream?
Anybody? Well, he's not in Kingdom, so we don't need to.
Oh, whew.
I know, right? That's we dodged a bullet right there.
Yeah. What happens? Oh, speaking of Nightscream, back to the show.
Yeah, Nightscream
Nightscream's chasing Jetstorm.
Yeah, he's chasing Jetstorm, who has the spark canister that has Blackarachnia spark in it, and he like does like a dive bomb type thing and grabs it with his feet and then flies away, and Jetstorm.
There's a chase scene, yeah.
Yeah, Jetstorm chases him. This piece of music here, it's been in a couple of other episodes now. I really like it, and I think it's just Nightscream's theme because it always
It's
plays
the
when
one that's
he.
kind of like
Yeah,
yeah, it's hype.
yeah, I like this music, and it always plays when Nightscream is in a chase, so I think it's just his theme.
Oh, good observation.
Yeah.
And what happens here? He basically completely outmaneuvers Jetstorm. Jetstorm's faster, so Nightscream flies, crashes through a window. It's very Matrix like crashes through a window, which I think is how the Matrix opens with Trinity. Yeah, when she's running on the rooftops. And Jetstorm's faster, but he can't maneuver in the small corridors of this factory or building that he's in. And he ends up crushing Jetstorm by tricking him going into an elevator shaft, kind of, because this platform like falls and sandwiches him.
Yep.
Oh,
yep. One of the advantages to being an organic flyer as opposed to a jet flyer.
Suck it, Jetstorm.
Oh, speaking of jets, Jetstorm says the line just before this, like when the chase first gets started. Jetstorm says, he's like, "Hey, you're pretty fast, kid, but around here I'm Top Gun."
I knew that you would you would mention that. They had fun writing this. Jetstorm's fun.
Yeah,
he's like
the
charismatic,
flamboyant villain. Yeah,
I like him. And then Jetstorm screaming when Nightscream all scream for ice cream. Nightstorm. Okay, folks, I've had enough. So Nightstorm and Jetscream
and Thrustor and Tank Knox
and Rator and Cheatrat. They all get together
and Cheeto Bot.
Optitron.
Blackaraculus.
That's actually kind of good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Blackaraculus. Scorposaur.
Oh, Scorpus. Oraculus. I can use these.
Oh, taking notes.
Yeah. Yep. There may be some Borg fusion shenanigans in the screenplay.
Some Borg fusors, if you will.
Nobody asked for it, but you're gonna get it.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah. Speaking of something that I don't want, the very hilarious joke. Jetstorm is screaming as he's being crushed by the platform. And what does he say? Nightscream puts his hand to his ear and he's like, C#. And then it slams and crushes him. And he goes, or B flat.
That
music to my ears. And I'm like, whew. Thank God no one else was around to hear that.
I mean,
the audience is. And then we cut to Matrix.
It's a music joke. Music nerds are probably going to chuckle at that.
If Lady Glitch was here, she would have a hearty guffaw.
Yep.
Or she would also clutch her chest and go, ugh.
I feel like she'll find it funny.
Yeah.
If she watches this, let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Let us know how hilarious and great of a character Nightscream is.
Speaking of which, he catches up with Thrust, who is just wheeling around in motorcycle mode with Blackarachnia's lifeless body on his back.
Yeah. She's splayed out in a very flattering position. And I feel like a dead body wouldn't be sitting that elegantly, like on top of like a bouncing like Vehicon moving like 200 miles per hour.
Well, he clearly likes Blackarachnia, so he was
That's
trying
true.
to take care with her her lifeless corpse, which is
Yeah,
literally
so
what
do
it
the
is at
opposite
this
of
point.
what we thought. Do the opposite of what we thought he was going to do. And they fight, and the fight's pretty brief, and good. Like the choreography is getting better in the show. And I guess Thrust has a grappler arm that he can shoot. Have we seen that before? I feel like we've seen that before.
We have seen that before. You know what else we've seen before is Nightscream's taser teeth.
And we get to see it again.
He shoots his taser teeth into Thrust and takes him out. And he lands and he's like, "Sweet dreams, exhaust pipe."
Again, thank God nobody else is around. Thank God Blackarachnia is dead, so she doesn't have to hear these jokes.
And then
but indeed, we get to now get a trippy death scene.
Yeah, we're inside the Matrix. We cut away to inside the Matrix / the spirit.
She's going towards the white light.
Yeah. She's floating in a white light, and Gary Primal is there.
Yeah. Indeed. She's like, what are you doing here?
And he basically, the gist of this is he's like, yeah, I'm here because I have a link with the Matrix because of my connection to the Oracle. But if you're here, that means your spark must have left its body. And she's like, wait, I'm dead? And he's like, guess so.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. And she kind of flips out.
Yeah, she flips out and she's like, no, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And she tries to like run away. And that apparently, while this is going on, Nightscream is actually like using the spark chamber and is like trying to like literally just like physically shove her spark back into her body.
It's floating and he's like, come on, get in there, god damn you, like trying to push it into her chest, and it's not working. And as Blackarachnia's spark in the Matrix freaks out, because she freaks out and she's like, no, I need to get out of here,
and she flees, and when she flees, IRL, her spark runs away.
It fucks off and like flies around the city, and Nightscream chases it.
And then Gary Primal is like, no, calm down, lady.
Calm your tits.
Calm your tits, lady. Your friends are out there waiting for you. They're trying to help you. And she's like, oh, okay, basically. And calms down. And then Nightscream like puts her back into her body and she wakes up.
Yeah. Just like that.
She's like, hey, thanks, kid.
And she's like, oh, what does he say? It's the least I could do to repay you for babysitting me. Because she calls him kid all the time.
Yeah. Well, and I think
I like that.
I think in part 1, when they were initially paired off together, it was a couple of weeks ago now, but in part 1 of this 3-parter, I think she made a comment about having babysitting duty.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I
recall it now.
Yeah.
And they don't really have a lot of time to go, holy shit, did you just come back from the dead? I feel like this is some serious business, because Nightscream has a bad feeling about where the others are. And indeed, when we do cut back to Cheetor and Rat Trap, they're still on these fucking archways.
Yeah, and then finally the tank drones like are able to knock them over.
Like dominoes.
Yeah, like
they
dominoes.
Knock one over and they all fall over because they kept just jumping back and forth. It's weird. And they fall.
Yeah, they fall, and Tankor like rolls up on them, and Cheetor is like partially crushed underneath one of these archways, and he's like, no, Rhinox, no, don't do it, please, don't, no, please, no,
It's your buddy Cheetor.
no, not that,
not the face,
not the face, not that. As he puts his hands over his crotch.
And
but no, he's like, no, Rhinox, you got to remember, please, it's your old buddy Cheetor. And Tankor like flips out
and screams, and and unexpectedly we cut back to whoa, hold up.
As he's screaming, there is a brief shot of like a spark fly toward the camera, and then the screen transitions to Gary Primal walking. It's a cool transition to Gary Primal like walking through a dark grassy field.
Whoa, I just did freeze frames and a bunch of images flashed at 1355 when the spark comes, and it shows Cybertron. There are weather patterns on Cybertron, which is cool. There are like clouds over it, and as it zooms in, it shows an Earth-like planet right after the flash of Cybertron, and then it zooms in on Primal.
Yeah, so planet Energon.
Or Cybertron before it was technological.
Or it could be that. Although, in this case, I'm going with planet Energon because of the fact that...
Right, what he says.
Because of something that Gary says later in the episode.
I just remembered, yeah. You're right. And when we go to this, something odd is here. He's going through like a road on like a grassy plain, and there's lightning. And do you see that the lightning, there's a different image?
It illuminates like symbols in this is like a I don't know, it kind of looks like cornfield.
Like a cornfield. And when the lightning flashes, the cornfield has
like different
Cybertronian symbols.
Yeah. And every time the lightning flashes, the symbols are different. I wonder what it means. Oh shit. You know what?
They are different.
You know what? I'm gonna go to the Transformers wiki right now as we're recording.
You pointed out that they were different, and so I was like, what? And I just like saw it, and I'm like, whoa. Wait, there's more.
Okay, I'm going to the TF
He's going
wiki.
In, folks.
I'm going in. I wonder if I can share a screen. How does this work? Let's try it.
we can figure this out. Share screen.
We got it.
Oh, there is a share screen option.
That didn't work like I wanted it to.
No, but we're here.
Okay. How? Yeah.
Show thumbnail video. Show grid video. Show. Maximize.
This is gonna be terrible for the audio listeners, but
we'll read it out to them. So we're figuring out how to zoom, screen share, and monkey around with this. And we're on the TF wiki.
Yep.
And
how do I go back?
Nobody knows.
That's the thing that I'm really wondering about.
Well, while he is doing that, I guess I can just continue with the scene, or does that distract you?
No, go ahead, keep talking. I'll try and figure this out.
Yeah, so on he's going through this like really high like cornfield grass, and it's raining, and in a clearing he encounters Rhinox, like Star Wars, like it's interesting. It's nighttime. There's lightning. It's raining. It's very dramatic. And yeah, Rhinox is there, like in Beast, not a Tank or Beast Wars Rhinox.
Okay, Cal, what can you see? Can you see the screen share?
Let me jump to it. Yes.
You can see the TF wiki?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. Hooray.
I could as soon as you did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was confused.
But what I see is different than what you. Yeah.
It was showing something different on. It was just showing my desktop wallpaper on my end, so I was kind of like, wait, what?
Yeah. So did you? Okay. Do you think you found anything?
So I'm okay. So if you look at the screen share, which again for audio listeners this means nothing, but let's go to. I've gone to the TF wiki page for this episode, and down to notes.
Okay.
Continuity notes.
Press 10 can detach.
Trivia.
It looks like. It kind of looks like nobody has noticed or nobody has translated the message in the cornfield lit by lightning.
Yeah, the TF wiki page makes no mention of what the text in the cornfield was. Oh well, okay. Whatever.
Are we
literally the first people to take note of it?
Does this do we have to figure out what this means? That seems like a lot more work.
Do we have to get our English to Cybertronian dictionaries out?
It's one of those things where we're like, oh, we'll do that and let you know, listeners. I don't know. Will we?
Now I'm curious if that's actually a thing. English to Cybertronian translator.
Must be, right?
There must be.
So,
fonts.
While he's looking for a
Transformers
alphabet or something.
For an alphabet. Cybertronian language.
What is, let's see here. Rhinox sputters something out.
Cybertronics. Okay.
He groans and he says, trapped. Abandoned. And he like clutches his head. And Primal says, this is Megatron's doing. But I can help you. And Rhinox snaps back at him and he's like, hey, tell you what, Primal, you're going to stay the hell away from me. Then he cracks open a beer, adjusts his trucker hat, and he's like, Megatron ain't the problem, you are.
And we spent all that time thinking Megatron was this big old asshole, but it turns out, Primal, you're the motherfucker around here. The real big motherfucker.
And you know what? Megatron's right. Yeehaw.
Megatron bought me beer every night for 6 months in a row.
Where the hell were you? Where do you think I got this MAGA hat from?
And Primal's just like, no, it can't. I don't believe it. No, it can't be true. And he's like, well, believe it, Primal. I haven't even had one drink yet tonight, and even then, I'm still telling you that you're a big old prick.
No, you have to be drunk. He spiked the beer. No, this is Megatron's doing. And a really cool perspective shot changes as the camera arcs and makes it shrinks down Optimus and makes Rhinox look like he's like going towards the heavens, like huge.
Yeah.
So as long as sparks remain individualistic, we'll never come together and achieve peace.
And
as long as you stay a monkey, the Beast Wars are gonna continue. There, I said it.
And if you're gonna keep on being a monkey, then gosh dang it, I'm gonna keep on being an uncle.
I'm a tank now.
Together, we're a monkey's uncle. Yeehaw!
Fuck all y'all. I drive better when I'm drunk anyway. It's initially why I wore
I don't even wear a seatbelt.
Seatbelts kill more people than they say.
So yeah, outside of Rhinox, Tank Nox, Rhinor. Do we like Tank Nox or Rhinor more?
Both kind of don't roll off the tongue. Tank Nox, yeah.
Tank Nox. All right. So outside of Tank Nox's head, the Blackarachnia shows up, and like he's still he wakes up and is like flipping out, and Blackarachnia
goes to crush Cheetor.
Yeah, and Blackarachnia like jumps down and like puts him in
uses her web to pull him away like Spider-Man.
Yeah. And Cheetor is like, no, don't hurt him. It's Rhinox. And she's like, wait, what?
Hold up. You sure? Rhinox was smart.
I know that I think that's funny. They're actually like, wait, it can't be. Rhinox was a genius. And Tankor,
well,
Tankor is friggin'
not
Rotundo.
Fully functional.
It's like that they actually
the least functional. Yeah.
It's like that they actually point that out. They're like, wait a minute. Rhinox was a genius and this guy's a fucking moron. Like,
yeah.
How could it be?
I don't believe it.
And can't be true. It can't be.
They eventually they're like, hey, buddy. They deal with his extra tanks. They blow them up, whatever. And they're like, calm down, buddy. Easy, boy. Easy. We want to help you. He's like, why would I want your help?
That's right. It is me. It's Rhinox.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Cheetor, throw me a beer.
And he's like, but are you sure? You get you seem angry when you drink nowadays. Don't make me ask twice, son. Boy.
Yep. Give me a beer, and while you're at it, grab me a fifth of whiskey to mix with it. It's for Chase, damn it.
And the others are like, hey, we're actually here for an intervention. We're not bringing you beer. You got to sit down and listen to us. And he's like, I ain't listening to nobody. And they're like, get him. They fucking actually jump on him, and Blackarachnia shoots her like Spider-Man and grabs his legs, and they hold his arms down, and he's like, oh.
And Cheetor is like, if he's not gonna sober up, god damn it, then we're gonna sober him up. We're gonna sober him up ourselves. And Rat Trap's like, wait a minute, are you sure? And Cheetor tells him transform and do your tail hack thingy.
Hack him. Hack the bat away.
Yeah, hack the bat away.
Put your fingers down his throat. Make him spew it up. And Rhinox is like, no, just one more. We can't see you kill yourself, buddy.
I could quit anytime I wanted to, damn it. I just don't want to. Not for the likes of you.
I don't have a problem. You do.
You're all organic and filthy, and I
can chug 40 beer just fine in the night. In this cool tank body.
Yeah, the good thing about this new tank body is I have no alcohol tolerance anymore. Yeehaw.
But I can still drive at the end of the night just fine. And they're like, hey, wait a second. You're not Uncle Rhinox. Fuck you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so what actually happens is Rhinox says that like basically says that he's bad. He bad now. And they're like,
Well,
we don't
Primal
believe
shows
it.
up, yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
he stops the hack.
yeah, so what they're trying to do is hack him because they say that Megatron's corruption must have reprogramming must have like completely corrupted his core.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh well, if he's not going to listen to reason, then we'll just reprogram him to bring. And Rat Trap's like, oh, are you sure about this? And Cheetor is like, hey, do you want our old friend back or not? And at this moment, I'm like, oh man, like it's such a tough like moral dilemma.
And there's a lesson to be learned there. And I'll mention it at the end of the show. But yeah, Primal was like, hey, that's not what he shows up and says, scratch that command. So I guess
he's
Primal's
in charge
back
again.
He's
immediately
out of it.
He was like, belay that order, Rat Trap. And I'm like, wait, so is Gary in charge again? Because like last we heard Cheetor was running the show.
Mm-hmm. And it was because he didn't think Primal was fit to lead
command
at that time. Yeah. But, so the moral dilemma, hey, if we tamper with his mind, then we're no better than Megatron. And part of me is like, well, yes, but what if you're untampering his mind?
Yeah.
Right?
What if you're just like, in a way, restoring a backup of the old Rhinox?
It's been like 800 years since they've defragmented Rhinox. Like, maybe they can help him out there. Yeah, restore a backup from USB or something, right?
Yeah.
But no, they let him go.
Yeah. Gary Primal's like, Tankor has made his choice, and if we tampered with it, as you said, then we'd be no better than Megatron. And he's like, let him go. He says to Tank Knox, like, I hope you'll see reason, basically. And Tank Knox is like,
goodbye, Optimus.
Goodbye, Optimus. Next time I see you, we ain't gonna be friends.
You better believe it.
Not even if you buy me a beer.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, not even if we buy him a 6-pack? Shit's not okay.
Yeah, shit's gotten serious. So yeah, Tank Knox fucks off.
Yeah, he peacefully leaves. So now I feel like he's more dangerous now that he's been awoken.
Agreed. 100%.
Whereas Tankor just kind of like screamed at his own drones and like bashed his head against the wall. I'm like, evil Rhinox.
Yeah, evil Rhinox. We saw evil Rhinox back in season 1 of Beast Wars, Dark Designs, written by friend of the show, Ian Weir.
And as we know that he's watching, so you guys weren't with CNN?
But yeah, we've seen evil Rhinox in that episode, so I don't know, maybe some of that I don't know, I'll talk about that more on a later episode, but maybe some of that evil reprogramming that happened in that episode, maybe some of that stuck with him, you know?
Spooky.
So we're back at the whatever the maximal hideout of the moment is.
The ape cave.
The ape. The ape cave. It's one thing that annoys me about this show is that they don't have, and like I get it, it makes sense, but it annoys me that they don't have like a stable base. Like I liked the fact that in Beast Wars they had the Axelon, and then they had Arc Mountain.
They had Arc Mountain, and the setting can become a character into itself. Like, is there one elevator on the Axelon Bridge, or are there two? No.
What are they going to do with the dinner table this week? Like,
yeah, the dinner table even made it out to Arc Mountain. They salvaged the dinner table. Yeah. Yeah. So, and how you can't get angry and flip the dinner table in the ape cave.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing must have been flipped like 9 times in Beast Wars.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, back at the ape cave, they're like sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya. Like, and Optimus is explaining that the Matrix, the Allspark, the spark that binds us all, which, interesting that he says the word Allspark. I think this might be the first time we've ever heard the word Allspark used in Transformers lore. The Allspark became was the MacGuffin of the first Michael Bay Transformers movie.
I was gonna say, I thought that was just a Michael Bay movie thing.
No, he says the Allspark here.
He does, yeah. I'm right there, and I'm like,
so I think this is the first canonical time the phrase Allspark is mentioned in Transformers. Which is cool. But yeah, he's like, so yeah, so the Allspark showed me that or the Oracle showed me that the Allspark, or vice versa, I can't remember, transported us back to planet Energon in order to bring organic matter in our beast forms back to Cybertron to restore the organic life onto Cybertron. And Cheetor is like, wait, like, was Cybertron even ever organic to begin with? And Gary's like, yeah, we've seen the signs. Like, we saw that tree that Nightscream was like hanging out with, that, like, you know, got us all fucked up when we ate its fruit, you know?
Yeah. It didn't affect Nightscream. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, how could the tree have gotten there?
So Gary Primal is like, this is my mission now. Not going to fail this time.
So he's snapped out of it.
Gonna make Cybertron organic again.
He's got a plan. Make Cybertron organic again.
Yep. Go Beast or go home.
Go Beast or go home.
Or in this case, go Beast and then go home.
Yeah. Go Beast and stay home. So yeah, and you know what? It's kind of I really like that, because he's like, the Beast Wars were not fought in vain. The Allspark needed us to go there to save Cybertron, and I'm like, this is actually good writing. Like, this is I'm stoked. Like, that's cool.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's the episode. Credits.
So
that's the episode.
Johnny Appleseed the fuck out there and start planting trees, kids.
All right. Do we want to talk about our ratings?
Yeah. Here on Too Much Energon, we have a rating system for the episodes, and it's a 3-tier rating system. It is not enough Energon at the bottom, then a sufficient amount of Energon, and then too much Energon. It's basically bad, okay, good.
Yeah.
And for this episode,
yes, I am going to I'm giving this episode a sufficient amount of Energon. I'm breaking the too much Energon streak for Beast Machines. Gets a sufficient amount of Energon from me. There was way too much. Okay, so the reason, what kind of brings it down for me, is Cheetor and Rat Trap spent way too much time on these arches.
Like, half the fucking episode felt like they were hiding on these arches, like, as they were getting pushed over.
They spent way too much time like basically being like, "Hey, Tankor, you're Rhinox. Remember, you're Rhinox.
Yeah.
Remember." Like there are several scenes where they do that, and it's
throughout the episode.
throughout the episode. Yeah, it's like there's
Remember,
two.
it's me, buddy, and it's like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, we get it. He clearly doesn't. Give it time, guys. Give it time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Primal's vision quests in general.
Okay.
But and also I think in this episode, like it raises more questions than it answers, and not necessarily in a good way. Like, and maybe they'll elaborate on it more in a future episode, but like you need a really good explanation for me for why Rhinox would break bad, because he mentions in the episode that he's like, yeah, like I've spent this entire time inside Tankor's mind, like trying to break free, and I've been watching and learning. And you know what? Megatron's right.
You wanted more of an answer than...
Yeah, and maybe we'll get it. I don't know. There's still a whole lot of beast machines left to go.
Right.
But
it'd be nice to dive into that more.
It would have been nice to actually get like some semblance of an explanation for why Rhinox has broken bad, you know?
How long has he been suffering? Why he agrees with Megatron? Just a little bit.
Yeah, why
more.
He agrees with Megatron? Yeah, like what his actual what's the motivating factor for him to...
And I understand they're leaving us breadcrumbs so they can reveal, hopefully they can reveal more about that later. Yeah.
So far, to this show's credit, this show has actually been good at explaining things that seemed like, especially coming into this show from Beast Wars, where it's oh, why is this happening? This question and more won't be answered on a future episode of Beast Wars. Now, this show has actually been pretty good at actually explaining those like dangling plot threads. So fingers crossed, but yeah, just a sufficient amount of Energon for me.
Yeah. As for my rating, I actually really like the idea of fate sending them to planet Energon, right? And the idea that like, the Beast Wars weren't fought in vain, and like everything has a meaning is very Matrix-like, right? Blackarachnia coming back from the dead felt unceremonious. Felt like that should have been a bigger deal than just get in there, you son of a bitch, and ramming her spark back into her body. It is cool though. That was like a moment between Nightscream and Blackarachnia. But
yeah, I feel like Blackarachnia's disembodied spark should have been something that actually like stretched out over an episode or two,
so that you worry about where it goes or what happens to it.
Yeah.
And Christopher and I are absolutely not about stretching things out over multiple episodes. So when we say that, it's as like the B plot or something, right?
Yeah.
The something that's happening that's not the main focus of that episode. And we complain that Beast Wars, like seasons two especially, no, 3, does that too much. We're like, hey folks, come on, I don't want another Rampage episode. There's only like 5 episodes left. So yeah, that felt kind of like Cheetor and Rat Trap don't even know that Blackarachnia died. Kind of seems like a right, like that was all happening somewhere else.
You just imagine that conversation the next day. So what'd you get up to? Oh, I died, and I was drifting through the Matrix for a while. And
I got to see
Optimus
there. That was cool. they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, got
Yeah,
to
it's
hang out
fine.
in the Matrix. It's real.
It was fine. Optimus was there, so like it wasn't completely awkward because at least I knew one person, you know.
Yeah, I didn't have to just stand in the corner and like,
Stare at
pretend I
my
was
phone.
okay. Yeah. And yeah, so it'd be be if that there was a bigger deal of that. The fight scenes / chase scenes are shorter, so that's good. But by God, did they spend way too much time at the top of the cage, right? And when they do finally fall, it's I don't know.
It's no Mick Foley going off the top of the cage into the announcer's table at the hands of the Undertaker.
No, it certainly is not. And the thing is, there's lots of really trippy, great things I like. Lots of great things. The symbolism of the Maximals being plants that are being corrupted by like by technology, and like that is trippy and kind of like freaky. Surprised that it's on like a kid's show, but this is already meant for more mature audience, teenagers instead of kids. But yeah, there's a lot happens that I really like, and there are answers given, but the build up to it made it seem more hype than the reveal actually was. Like just shaking Rhinox being like, come on, remember, for like 20 minutes doesn't really
this does feel kind of underwhelming as like the third part of a 3-parter.
Named Apocalypse.
With an exclamation mark, no less.
Apocalypse, bitch. And it's like nothing really ends. There is no metaphorical apocalypse. So I'm okay with Rhinox being bad. I really like coming back from the dead, Blackarachnia. I like hacking. I liked the shocking, I know, Nightscream and Jetstorm battle and back and forth, because they both have, one has better quips than the other. I'll leave it at that. But just it's a high sufficient amount of Energon. Sorry, I had to talk myself through that, and I'm like, I want to like it, but I have to treat every episode as its standalone, and it's the hype didn't build.
We also had to break that too much Energon rating streak eventually.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. It's not like this is like atrocious or terrible. And I did not dock the episode for Nightscream's terrible jokes or his ghastly appearance.
His appearance would definitely have a rating, or definitely have an effect on the rating of the series as a whole on the too much Energon scale.
Definitely.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 Energon cubes. Too much Nightscream. There's nothing wrong with the character. He just looks and does creepy things.
Yeah.
And says weird things. So that's our first unanimous sufficient amount of Energon for Beast Machines.
Yep. Had to happen eventually, folks. Here we are. That has been episode 60 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show, patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB, where starting at the $5 and up tier, you get hours every week of bonus preamble audio. There's also a $10 tier, which gives you our weekly news program, as well as our monthly show where we talk about the IDW 2021 Beast Wars comic book. And there's a $25 tier, which gets you a t-shirt, gets you our monthly commentary track, which I mentioned earlier in the episode, and it also gives you the ability to pick a show for us to talk about on our other podcast that's currently going, the Lasercomb Podcast, where we comb through random episodes of classic TV shows with a fine-tooth laser. Also, wherever you're watching or listening to this, give it a like, give it a subscribe, blah.
Subscribe.
Give it a 5-star rating. Anything helps us out with discoverability.
Yeah.
Also, if you like Beast Wars and or Beast Machines, and you have friends who like Beast Wars and or Beast Machines, who also like podcasts. Tell them about this show. Get them to join the Too Much Energon universe.
And if
army.
you have that odd friend who only likes the Japanese animated anime for Beast Wars, tell them that we even cover that.
We even cover that. The Too Much Energon faithful. There you go. That's what we can call our listener base. The TME faithful.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us, go to facebook.com/toomuchenergon or facebook.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB. That's kind of the central hub for all of the shows that we do. So check that out. If you want updates on this and every other podcast that we record, produce, yada yada. Twitter or at Lasercomb. I almost said twitter.com. I guess that would work, actually. Twitter.com/Lasercomb.
That's how it works, right? Yeah. Like
but
Facebook.
Anyway, Twitter, you can follow the show at Lasercomb, or at Too Much Energon, or you can follow me at Lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Cal, you are also on Twitter, yes?
I'm one of those people that have an underscore in their name. Oh, so many syllables just to say underscore. It's Neo
Vintage.
underscore, vintage. Neo underscore Cal with a K. I don't know if it wasn't enough characters, like maybe it needs to be 7 or more, or somebody else had taken it, but just Neo Cal is one word, how I like to spell it. It was taken, or you need to have at least 7 characters in Twitter. I can't remember. But every once in a while, I go on a site and somebody else has my name, and I'm like, oh, I guess I have to be the underscore version. I'll find you. And I will give you $50 for that name for you to handle.
That could be the name of your autobiography. I guess I'll have to be the underscore version.
Oh God, yeah. I like that. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, it's not bad, actually.
Yes, I have to be the underscore version.
All right. We will be back next week with episode 61 of Too Much Energon, where we will be talking about the 10th episode of Beast Machines, Survivor. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Maybe I'll put that song in at the end of that episode. Anyway, I think we're gonna get out of here now. I've been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
And I'm NeoCal.
And until next week, I am transformed.
And we are the Borg.
Bye-bye.
Beast Machine.